טוב, ברוך השם, אנחנו נמצאים בבית מדרש של צבי. והיה לנו, and we had pre-divrei Torah. I think I'll have to try to repeat one of them. One of them is that Baruch Elokeinu, Shebranu L'chvodo, V'hifti Lanu Min Ha'Tayim V'nis Chayei Olam Nata B'Chenu. So we're asking that we're the ones who should be doing everything. Why does it say that Hashem?
No, my Sheila is on the Hemshech.
Okay.
We thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the Ramban. We came to this world, we have to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Elokeinu shebaranu l'chvoidoi. That's the famous Ramban. And then we say, Yivdilanu min hatoyim. All things in the past. Yivdilanu min hatoyim. V'nasa lanu toras emes v'chayu ilam nota b'seichenu.
Hu yiftach libeinu.
All of a sudden, now we say, Hu yiftach libeinu v'seirosoi. Yosim b'libeinu ahavaso v'yeraso. So I was just thinking that those are really things that, why are we asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu to do that? That's what we're here for. We're here to take the neshama HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us and to...
That's our job, you're saying.
That's our job.
But...
Yosim b'libeinu ahavaso v'yeraso. I mean, so what are we doing?
What we're doing is realizing...
But do not messing up. Don't mess up. I'm giving you ahavaso v'yeraso. Just don't mess up.
In other words,
I don't think so.
I always talk about the opposite, that if we do a little and then HaKadosh Baruch Hu does the rest. Sata d'shmaya, that's basically it. You have to make dila mata, and then it becomes dila ela. We all know, but what you're saying, it's sort of like saying lano.
How are we telling HaKadosh Baruch Hu?
So you know what? Wait. So what's the lashon again?
Yosem b'libeinu.
Yosem libeinu. What we're doing, what we're saying, we're making the first step by asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'yosem libeinu. We're saying, please put it into our hearts, so you know the first step is our step. We're davening that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give us that. That's what I think. Yosem libeinu. Maybe that's a possible answer. Anyway, I think the second of our Torah, he said in the name of Rav Shach, that why don't we say Sha'asani Yehudi? Why did we say Shelo Asani V'lei? So, right. And what did he say? And how did you hear this, by the way? You heard it in the name of someone?
I don't remember where I heard it. It's Davar Yodua.
Davar Yodua.
Bavusta. Why do we say, somebody said to him, why do we say a bracha in the negative? Shelo Asani Goy. Let's say Sha'asani Yehudi. Be positive. Positive attitude. Positivi. So he said, he said that Shelo Asani Goy, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did. Shelo Asani Yehudi, that's for what you to do. That's your avodah.
See that? Both Musar beginnings and B'schus, all these Divrei Torah that we're going to say today, in Tes Nisan, we're getting closer to. In fact, everything's mukdam this year. Because it's Shabbos. Because Shabbos is actually Pesach. It's Erev Pesach, I'm sorry. Erev Pesach is Yud Daled. Yud Daled is on Shabbos. So the Tainus Bechoros, you're not a Bechor, are you?
No.
Okay, but Tainus Bechoros is on Thursday. It's a Mukdam. And
did you see that on my little calendar?
Yes, I saw you. Actually, you also had Rosh Tevos for Thursday. What was that for?
That was Tuf Beis Mem. Tanis Bechoros Mukdam.
You got me completely. Now I know. Tanis Bechoros Mukdam. Okay. Anyway,
there wasn't space to write it out, so I created my own. My own contraction.
For those who make a siyum, you have to do it a little earlier, at least a day or two, because it's going to be on Thursday, and then Thursday night, Yom Chamishi B'Layla, that's going to be not Orle Arbasar, the Orle Yud Gimel. We're going to do B'dikas Chametz, and then we're going to day on Erev Shabbos Kodesh. We're going to have beer chametz. You're actually going to burn your chametz, but you're not going to
beer.
You could do that too. A good way to get rid of the chametz. A good way to get rid of the chametz. Chamas Halavai, we get rid of Hamas. Anyway, so, but you don't say Kol Chamira, that's reserved because you have in mind.
You say it at night.
Yeah, you're going to say it.
You say it at night.
You say it at night, the Bedika.
You just don't say it.
You don't say it
Friday morning.
Right. But because you have in mind that you're going to.
You say it on Shabbos.
Right.
You say it on Shabbos.
Because you're going to be eating on Shabbos. You can't say, you still have some chametz.
Flush it away like tashlich.
Flush it away, right. Anyway, so, okay, so.
Yeah, flash flood.
We are going to actually talk about more of the dinim, and I actually put into the chat, too much English today. Put into the chat.
As well, wir reden in der Mameloshin.
Ken,
darf reden in der Mameloshin.
And the Mameloshin.
Ich will sagen,
Was willst du sagen? Was?
Ich will sagen, als du. How do you say want? You want?
Will.
Du
willst.
Du willst haben dein Freund.
Ja, yes, Bemes. Bemes, Shalom Bayis.
Okay.
Ja. And was?
And
say it in English, man.
You're mechavid your wife to speak in English.
Right, that's true.
And then we speak in Hebrew, but we should really be mechavid the Yiddish speakers and have a little speaking. Well, you do actually.
Yeah, we do.
You do the tilim. You do in Yiddish.
Yeah, we do Yiddish.
That's right.
Okay,
you do the Yiddish.
We have a Seder, and we even have Latin every so often. Before Shleim was Aryeh Leib ben Tuba, Chai Tuba, Yar Nisim ben Ofra, Michal ben Amisora, Pesach Yosef ben Hinda. I'm going to do a clip of Pesach Kron where you can see Baruch Hashem, he's back in shape. Aryeh Tzvi ben Nechama, Aaron Tzvi. I don't know why I wrote that. Aaron Tzvi, I spoke to his grandfather again. He's going to have a procedure in 2 months to check that he's okay. Binyamin ben Daniel Margulis. Chaim Daniel ben Hodaya. Yisrael ben Imbal Esther, Rivka bas Naomi Sora, Ashira Rus Bashmifka. I asked Elchanan, who came back from Afula, how they are doing, and he says one, without going into details, Ashira Rus really needs a Yeshua there. Rachel Bas Malkalea,
the daughter,
yeah,
the granddaughter,
yeah. Barak Ben Tamar, I'll tell you offline. We'll tell you basically what's going on. Pinchas Rafael Ben Sora. Okay, they should all have Refuah Shleim. Today is the yard site Refuah Shleim of Korov. Rabbi Yaakov Tzvi Yalish Midinav. And then Aryeh Leib ben Binyamin, Rabbi Aryeh Levine, Ish Tzadik Haya. Okay, that's the Tzadik of the Rav HaAsirim, and his grandson Benji Levine. Chashav Mishpacha. Chaim Meir ben Yisrael Hagar. He's the son of he is the Imre Chaim. Today is the outside of the Imre Chaim, who's the son of the Avos Yisrael. We're talking about Vizhnitz. Okay, so these are all the art sites for today. What you have to say are Tehillim. With Tehillim, today is Parachav Ches. Oh, That's why I try to juice it up. She died. Mishira then Adonai Ozemo Mos Yeshuos Mishichohu Hoshia Esamecha
Uvarech
Es Nachosecha Moreim 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 V'Nasim Moreim V'Nasim Adonai Hoshia Esamecha Uvarech es Nachosecha Moreim 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 V'Nasim Moreim V'Nasim Adonai Hoshia Esamecha Uvarech es Nachosecha Moreim 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 V'Nasim Moreim V'Nasim Adonai Hoshia Esamecha Uvarech es Nachosecha Moreim 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 V'Nasim Moreim V'Nasim Adonai. No Yiddish word.
Don't you love people when they sing and they try to do their own harmony?
Yeah, their own, right? It's okay. L'David Eilecha Hashem Ekra, zu dir, Rebbeinu Shalom, Rufich, ich bin Mispalel, Suri, mein Starkheit, al techrash mimeni, sollst du nicht schweigen von mir.
Schweigen?
Schweigen. Be quiet. Al techrash, don't be silent von mir. Pen techshe mimeni, Tomer de West, schweigen von mir. Tomer, maybe. Oib West nicht zu hören, mein Tfilah, Benimshalti, und ich will sein Gelechte. Okay, that's today's words. It's Geg Lecht, Gimel, Ayin, Gimel, Lamed, Yud, Chaf, Ayin, Nun, Tes. Geg Lechten. Which means to be compared. Gleichend.
To what? Oh,
compare.
Vergleich. No?
Vergleich, right. So it says, where is it?
Vergleich is
Ob ich will sein gegleichen im Jahr devor mit die welche niedrigen in Grub. In Gehennem. Grub means like in down below. Okay. And that means Gehennem. In Grub. In Gehennem. You know, unfortunately, when you say someone who you really, Sone Yisrael, you say, Elzolzan, Tif Tire, you know, you should go way down. Tif Tire, way down. Anyway, Achenu,
Oikol Beis
Yisrael,
Yisrael,
Achenu,
Oikol Beis Yisrael,
Anasonem B'Saron,
Atzoro Uvashiv
Yom
Yom,
Nemei Bayam Bayabasha.
Oy oy oy
Makom Yerachem Aleim Yotziim Mitzara L'Revacha Omefel Yora Umishibel Geola Hasta Vagola Ovizman Kariv ונאמר אמן אמרתי ש30 יום לפני החג אנחנו מזכירים כל יום משהו על הכנות לחג, אז אנחנו זמן בדיקה חמץ, זה ליל י"ג דיברנו, ליל יום ה' וגם כן שורפים את החמץ ערב שבת, אור חיים תמ"ד סעיף א' וב' תנס בחורס ביום ה', הזכרנו י"ב ניסן, אורך חיים תע"ין סעיף קטן בייז, סיום ערב שבס, סעודת שבס בערב פסח שחל בשבס, אז יש 3 פתרונות, זהירות, זאת אומרת אפשר לאכול את החמץ אבל להיזהר שלא יישאר, שלא יראה בימצה. הוא מביא גם כן מצה מבושלת. You ever hear people eat matzah mevushelet?
No, I heard matzah shira.
That I said, but he also brings down that you can have matzah mevushelet. He explains how you can make it, matzah ashira, and then...
we have a meat pie my wife makes every Pesach. A matzah pie. A matzah pie, it's called a meat pie. It's meat pie with matzah. That's mevushelet.
Okay, so, and then there's a minhag shtei seudot, that you actually have one Seudah, you break it up in the middle. Do you do that? Yeah.
Yes.
And then make sure Nikui and Seudah Shlishit, there's all sorts of Shelot because you technically supposed to have it after Mincha, but Tzahorayim. So some people say Peiros, and then some people say Divrei Torah. You know?
Rashbi said Divrei Torah.
Yeah, sure.
Rashbi was, Shimon ben Yochai was Yotzei with his Divrei Torah.
That's brought down in the Shulchan Aruch, Tov Mem Dalid, Sif Aleph. And before we continue the shir and go away and say the yard sites, we have to have our moment of, der Moment von Yiddish.
Yiddish!
Den Zeit von Yiddish.
Nechten, ich hab gemacht a record.
Ja.
כי אני עשיתי,
אני חושב... 100% הכל?
לא, אבל עשיתי 13 lessons.
Really?
כן. אפילו המערכת נתן לי יישר כוח.
כן.
כן, זה הכיר שאני עשיתי יותר ממה שעשיתי אף פעם, וזה אמר לי, וואו, כל הכבוד.
אני לא מבין... מה זה lesson? Is it minutes or a number of things that you do? What constitutes a lesson?
יש sections.
Okay, חלק.
כל sections יש להם units. אז צריך לעשות, לגמור section, צריך לעשות את כל ה-units. אז עשיתי הרבה units.
וואו.
13 units עשיתי. או 12, אתה רואה? כי זה באמת קצת, זה יותר קל. אבל אז היו הרבה מילים מאוד מעניינות, ואני שמרתי על חלק מהם, וגם על טעויות שעשיתי. You know how do you say stomach in English?
Boich.
No. Boich is a belly.
Okay.
The stomach is a muggins.
Oh, muggen. You're right.
Muggins.
You're right, muggen. Okay.
Unsere muggins.
You say to every mate, you say you wish everybody a good muggen.
Muggen in the free?
A good muggen. Have a good stomach.
I can't stomach your jokes.
I know. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's number one.
Okay, that's number one.
Muggen.
Number two.
Muggen Avraham.
To measure.
To make a cheshbon.
No. Wir haben gemosten jenen Tisch.
Mosten, like measure.
Gemosten.
Wow,
Mosten.
never heard that. Mosten. Okay.
Sein Plemenik is din.
Your nephew is thin.
Thin. Din
Right.
is thin.
Din is thin.
Din
right.
is thin.
Yeah.
Sein Heut is kalt. Heut. It's not to be confused with hot.
I know.
Heut.
Usually, I would say a hat, but it's not.
No.
Something's cold.
These are all body parts.
I know that.
Heut is skin.
Oh, yeah, Heut. Okay.
Sein Heut is kalt.
Okay.
Heut
Muggen.
Why did I save this? I don't know. I don't know. Here's the word. It's another new word I had. Verzeichnet.
To calculate.
Wer verzeichnet de Moss?
The humidity. Who measures the humidity?
No. What's Moss? Moss is a measurement. As wer verzeichnet.
Who takes the measurement?
No, who's jotting it down?
Who's writing it? Okay, jotting it down.
Why is that jotting down? Verzeichnet? What's the...
To me, it's reckoning.
Reckoning. Jotting down, to write something down.
Schreiben. I don't know, but Zeichen. Okay. Recording it somewhere.
Yeah.
Could be.
Now here's a long statement, but the word for the day here is sterens. Sterens.
Means to disturb.
No.
No, stern.
It's a forehead.
Oh, you keep talking body parts. Sterens.
Yeah, sterens is a forehead.
Okay.
Kennt ihr mir Masber sein, wie soll ihr molt? What's molt? To molten.
Change.
To draw.
To draw.
Okay. Kennt ihr mir Masber sein, wie soll ihr molt a selche schöne Sterns?
to write down.
How do you draw such nice
stars?
Foreheads?
A forehead. Oh, boy. Okay, I'll give up.
Okay, one more.
Ich bin miyayish.
One more. Du hast zwei Handgelenken.
Handgelenken?
Sounds like Lincoln.
Two,
Handgelenken.
you have two hands.
Well, it's related to Hand.
I know that.
Handgelenken, wrists.
Oh, wow.
The wrists.
Handgelenken.
Yeah.
Wow, forget it.
Fisch haben gewöhnlich nicht kein Lungen. Lungen is an easy one.
Your
It's
lungs.
Lungen is lungs.
Yeah.
And
Hearts.
And I like this one.
Hearts Mountain.
In Punimarain. What does that mean?
In your face. In your face.
Okay.
But we left out a certain part. The ears.
I didn't do all of them. I just did yesterday's.
Yeah. Ears.
But you see,
Okay. But we're getting on
moving
there.
along.
B'chol atzmosai tamarna. Mit mein alle Beine. Mit mein alle, ich bin bestattet. Ich bin. So Kodesh Baruch Hu. Whatever. Anyway, I wish you.
Chaim Tovim!
Here we go.
Thank you for joining us in our Yiddish lesson.
And,
We have a plug for Duolingo.
oops, I got to take the. Thank you.
Oh, how do you carry this?
I know it's heavy. Got gold in here. Okay, a guten. Chaim Tovim. Okay, 21 minutes. Boy, we got אנחנו צריכים להתקדם. We have to catch up. And we did not mention Freda, Chaim Yisrael ben Freda Hadassah, and Daniel ben Shoshana Dvash. Should have refuah shlema. The weather, again, is brisk. To me, it's brisk. I'm wearing a coat, but we daven outside in the kotel. And here we go. Today's yard sites. Reb Yaakov Tzvi Yolis ben Naftali, Reb Naftali, Nolad bePremishal, and in the 1778, ונפטר ברישה ביום טס ניסן, שזה היום, ב-1825. מתייתם, he became an orphan בילדותו, וסבו רב יהודה בן רב צבי, רב צבי היה הרב במזבז, גידלו אותו. לזכרו קרא לאחד הסברו רב חינוך בייס יהודה. כבר בילדותו היה למדן חריף, ולמד בחברוסה עם רב יעקב אורנשטיין בעל ישועת יעקב. בלובלין למד עם חברו בני יששכר. כיהן ברבנות בכמה קהילות, דינוב, גלנוב, הסקוב. אבל אשתו שירה מינדל עבדה קשה מאוד כדי שיוכל להתפרנס בלי שיצטרך לקבל עליו עול הרבונוס. לכן רוב ימיו ישב בפרמישל ורק למד תורה. רב יעקב צבי היה מתלמידם של החזון מלובלין, רב ישראל מקוז'ניץ ושל רב מנחם מנדל מרימנוב, שלושתם נפטרו בשנת 1815, והיה גם תלמידו של רב אברהם יהושע השל מאפתא. רב יעקב צבי כתב 27 ספרים. גדולי הדור העריכו מאוד. רב יצחק אייזק מזידיצ'וב כתב על אחד מספריו, אי אפשר לחבר ספר כזה בעולם הזה, בלתי שיהיה רב במספתא דרקיע. מספריו מלוא הרועים, ג' חלקים, הוא חיבר. זה אלו הספרים שהוא חיבר. מלוא הרועים, ג' חלקים, חלק א', על סידור דעות כל התנאים והמורים בעניינם שהם מחולקים בהם בתלמוד עם דעות הראשונים, סדר א' בייס לפי נושאים, חלק בייס במידות שהתורה נדרשת להם, עם קונטרוס שונה הלכות על קריאות ההלכה במחלוקסים בש"ס, חלק ג' חידושי סוגיות הש"ס. עוד ספר חידושים והגות על ש"ס, נדפסו בש"ס בווילנה, קהילות יעקב, Chidushei Agudos al Mesechtes Brachos, Kilas Yaakov, Klolim, B'chachmei, Anistar, B'seder Aleph Beis Shel Milim, Aniskoros B'mikra, B'talmudim, B'medrashim V'zohar, Yusuf HaKabbalas Rishon V'Arizal, Emes Liakov, Al Torah, Beis Rad, L'chachomim, Seder Tanoim V'Amorim, Tolosem, Yichusem, Al Seder Aleph Beis, Parshas Drachim Zuta, Chiber B'Yaldusa, Lefi Dugmas HaSefer, Parshas Drachim, Leval Mishnah Melech, Pupule Alocha V'Drushei Agoda, V'Kam Sefer Chinuch, Beis Yehuda, Shema Sefer Lezecher Sabo, Rab Yehuda Shegilo Hizkarnu Etzel Lamala, Chiberet HaSefer B'Chanukah Be'elta Ben Esrim Mishnayim, the Sefer Chaf Hei Prakim Shel Biurei Inyanim Al Derech HaChikira B'Mal Neis Chanukah B'Inyan HaShkocha, Od Sefer Zichron Yaakov Yehuda Drashas Beno V'Yashresh Yaakov Sefer Al Teilim Sheila Shechuvas Agos Al Shach, the Emes Liakov Parshas Metzora, Ba Asher Lo Habayis Vayikra Yadal Lamehei Rab Yaakov Tzvi Roeh B'Milim Eila Hadrochel B'nei Adam Sheyoseh Midai Mistaknim Esatzlam B'Avur Parnasosam V'lo Mevinim She'akol Kafi Ma She'Kadosh Baruch Hu Yiksiv Lo Im Haya Mevin Az Yoshev B'Betach B'Beis Hashem Haya Mazmin Kol Ma She'Megiya Lo B'Li Tircha Yisrael Le'Veiso Ba Asher Lo Habayis Mibanav Aben Shelo Rab Avram Elazar Yehuda Leibish Misifri Rab Mordechai Miznichov V'Zel Ad Kan Rab Yokef Tzvi Yoelish Midinov. Okay. זה אמרתי שזה גם כן היורצייט של רב אריה לוין. אריה לייב בן ינממן בייניש לוין נולד ב-1885 ונפטר ב-1969. מכונה אבי הרב של האסירים. רב אריה רב אריה נולד באורלה בפולניה, למד בסלוצק ואחר כך בסלונים, בבריסק ובפינסק, אחר כך לישיבת וולוז'ין. ב-1905 עלה לארץ ישראל ביפו ואחר כך לירושלים. בישיבת תורס חיים הוסמך על ידי חיים ברלין, וגם כן על ידי שמואל סלנט ואברהם יצחק קוק. ב-1917 היה משגיח בתלמוד תורה עץ חיים בירושלים. ב-1948 הקים ישיבה בייס ארי. היה נוהג 25 שנה ללכת כל שבת לבקר אסירים, לעודד אותם, במיוחד אסירי מחתרת ועולי גרדום. היה מחבר משנס אריה, רב אריה גיליונוס בשם אלכלו, ויש ביוגרפיה עליו, איש צדיק היה, צדיק יסוד עולם, דרך אבוס. עד כאן היורצייט של רב אריה לוין. ויש, אמרתי גם כן חיים מאיר בן ישראל הגר, מכונה האמרי חיים, נולד ב-1887, נפטר ב-1972, הוכתר למלא מקומו אחר פטירת אביו ב-1936. הוא היה אדמו"ר הרביעי משושלת חסידי ויז'ניץ. הוא קיבל סמיכה משלום מרדכי שבדרון למרשם. בנו ישוע משה הוא היה האדמו"ר החמישי. הוא היה המייסד קריית ויז'ניץ בבני ברק. זה גם כן היורצייט של צבי הירש בן מרדכי זאב אורנשטיין, נולד ב-1816, נפטר ב-1888, היה רב בגליצקיה, בריסק, ליטא, בור, וחדר ברכס רצה, ריש צדיק ה'. עד כאן היורצייטים של היום. אז אנחנו נלמד עכשיו שמירת הלשון. בפרק י"א, חלק שני שמירת הלשון. ואמר חז"ל, על זה המדרש, ברישש רבה מ"ד, פסוק במשלי, ט"ז י"א, Pelis umosne mishpat Hashem. The honest scales and balances belong to Hashem. Shal kulo ne'anash midamina. Shamar kohen lachem avodim. When Yosef called his brothers slaves, so then he landed up being a servant, a slave. The Kedushim, Evan Nibka Yosef. Shamar Shechadushim al Arayas, when he said that the brothers had illicit relations, then he himself was the subject of suspicion and ill repute because of alleged with Ashes Potiphar. When he talked about the kashrus, that they ate Abram and Achaim because he didn't see that they actually did shchita. It was a complete mistake. That they actually, when they got even with him, or they actually shechted, slaughtered a goat, and took from it, dipped the clothing, his son's pasim, in the blood and brought it to her father. So we see that they actually did perform shechita. But we see the consequences to Yosef. Every time he said something, Lashon Hara, it rebounded upon him. It pushed back. It came back on him. And I wish everybody only Shmuos Tovos, Soros Tovos, Yom Tov, Yikulam.